back to the Glassgirls network, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2026. We've not been on the channel for well over a month, and we're well overdue because we've got plenty to talk about here. But yeah, Happy New Year, guys. How's 2026 finding you so far?
Well, how was the new year for you? Where did we spend it?
Let's start with a little story, right?
Oh God, here we go. Let's keep going anyway.
We've been desperate for football content, women's football content, as in going to matches over the festive period. You know, obviously it's cancelled. Cancelled is a bit in between, etc. And the games start, you know, in January and whatnot. Now, was it last weekend or weekend before?
Yes.
We were supposed to go to Stourbridge versus Peterborough. That was called off.
Mm-hmm.
So then we looked at Kiddie. That was called off. Then we looked at Redditch United.
The
I got halfway
Redditch
there.
Derby.
The DG Derby.
DG Derby. Got halfway there. It was called off. Had to come back. Ended up spending the whole day, whole night with John at the Glass Boys bar, spending fortunes. But we got that. Let's go. Calcer was another one. We opted to go to Calcer. Yeah. That was called off. So we opted to go to. It was mentioned. This is how desperate we was. We was going to watch Sporting Bromsgrove Devs. Yes, you heard it right, fellas. Sporting Bromsgrove Devs. There's a Stour link there. There's two ex-standard players that play there. They're getting a run out, etc. We were going to go, weren't we?
Yeah.
Kieran changed his mind at the last minute.
Yeah.
So we didn't go in the end. But yeah, we've been desperate for football. It's back. We're ready to go. 2026. Let's bring it on.
There we go. Yeah, 2026. So yeah, enough about Bromsgrove Devs. Let's talk about the Glassgirls. So obviously we've got Darcy Cara on the screen, looking very, very happy with herself.
Celebrating the goal.
And that is exactly what she's doing, John. She's celebrating the goal that put us 1-0 up, and that's how the game finished against Northampton, which is a massive, massive 3 points for us. That was, I believe, in November. I think we're going back that far.
Wow.
Maybe in November. Obviously Northampton away, playing there. Darcy, if you haven't seen the goal, try and find it if you can. It's a good goal.
Oh, quality. Yeah.
So yeah, she did really, really well there. The team did really, really well. And that's almost, I guess in the league, and as well as performances, it's carried the momentum of good performances on. Because you know we've been saying the performances have been there, but perhaps the results haven't been there.
Yeah.
But yeah, to get a good result here was great. Obviously, get the clean sheet as well. Moving on, we'll just touch on some of the results. I know we all haven't been there for all of them, so we can't speak in depth. After that, Stour won, Hull 7 in the FA Cup. Not obviously, you look at the result, not good, but you know Hull are a quality side of themselves, and the FA Cup it's one of them where you don't really care about it. Boulmere 4, Stourbridge 0. Again, not a good result, but Boulmere are a quality side. Stourbridge 1, Sutton 1. Great point picked up at home. Could have easily been all
Another
3.
good goal, Sophie Phillips.
Yes, but could have easily been all 3 as well, all 3 points. But then it was 3 points when we went to Notts County. Won 3-5 there. A scoreline you don't see all that often.
5-5.
5-3. A brilliant result. To score 5 goals in any game is really, really good. But yeah, to do it against a decent side in Notts County who have come up and surprised a few people, I think. We'll definitely take that. And then the most recent game, I'm trying to think, it was the Notts game in 2026. I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, so that was the first game. So the second game of 2026 was, unfortunately, our Birmingham County Cup tie. Stourbridge 1, Rugby 10. Obviously, the result speaks for itself, I think. Rugby are an absolutely quality side. I think they just showed their quality on the day. But yeah, obviously Peterborough rearranging that. You mentioned that result as well, that match that was meant to happen. Didn't end up happening. But what are your thoughts on the festive period that we've had at Stourbridge?
I think what we've done well at for the whole season, and it reminds me a little bit about our first season in Tier 3, we've kind of won the games or got points from the games that matter the most.
Yeah.
And that Notts County one was kind of like a bonus, because even though Notts County are now starting to slip down the league a little bit, and we'll have a look at that shortly, that was like a mid-table kind of side, so it's always good just to win the teams around you, especially at our level. And I think we're getting points from when we're playing these teams. We are getting points from the teams around us, and we've still got to play Lincoln again, still got to play Kiddie again. So yeah, I think it's been okay. I think it's pretty much been as expected. I wasn't expecting 5 goals against Notts County. I don't think anybody was, but we had a lot of momentum. So even though we hadn't got results throughout the whole season, I do feel that we've got that momentum, and I know we've probably spoke about that in the last show, so we don't want to go over that too much. But so when looking back, I don't suppose I was overly surprised when I saw that. And the Rugby Borough one, like you say, it's a league above us. They're in the top half of Tier 3. We're in the bottom half of Tier 4. I think any team in Tier 4 would have struggled against Rugby Borough. So yeah, that's kind of meaningless. It's just a shame really that we had to play them because we were kind of on a high. It would have been nice to be drawn against a team that's maybe a little bit more winnable. But yeah, I think all in all, performances matched. So the scores are their matching performances, and we've got some exciting games to come as well.
Definitely, yeah. Dave, any extra comments to make on the festive period that we've had?
John's covered the majority there. The away games we weren't at, so I like to break down games, being a kind of analysis, if you like, but I can't comment on what I didn't see. So people watching this thinking, I want to talk about a little bit about the whole game, a little bit about the rugby game yesterday. So people watching this think, here he goes, Baylo's biggest fan, going to say they were a better team. I'm not actually. Yesterday was an eye-opener, massive eye-opener. I remember Mike Harris and even Andy Fisher saying that the levels in between Tier 3 and 4 compared to now, 5 or 6 years ago, is huge.
Yeah.
We saw the level yesterday. We were in the game for the first 20 minutes. They come at us, we come back at us. Baylor doesn't change their style of football, which I like. Got to 6-1. We scored a weird goal that probably should never have been.
Yeah, one of the weirdest goals I've seen us score for a while.
But we take it. It's a consolation, and it's the first time I've seen a Baylor side kind of, drop their heads, if you like. It was chalk and cheese. We'll go away, reset for the game this weekend coming up. So we kind of ignore that to an extent. It's a good learning curve for most of the girls. But I just want to go back to the whole game. We lost 7-1. So when you look at that on paper, you think, well, they got smashed. Technically, we did. You can't lie. We let 7 goals in. However, we was always in that game. How mad it sounds. We was all that. The whole scored a goal. We went back, heads up, came at them again. We challenged. We made the keeper work. We came forward. I've got to say, Hull City's fans are fantastic, by the way, who came down here. 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever his journey. Some of them speaking in the bar, they stayed behind. They said, look, it's 7-1, but really good football inside you guys. You should be better. You should be higher than where you were if you're playing like that. So that was a kind of a compliment after we just got stuffed, if you like. But I was proud of the girls, every one of them. And I just want to make a shout out to Erin Griffiths, right? Because all the time we've been doing this podcast, we spoke about literally every player under Baylor at the moment. Whether it's your Bellas, your Ellas, your top players, your players that are making waves all the time, and mentions to other girls. Nobody speaks about Erin, right? And that whole City game, me and you had a conversation, Kieran, on the WhatsApp group about Neve Murphy against Newcastle.
Yeah.
And you were saying it's the best game you've seen her play, and I was like, what's he on about? You've got stuff to come out of the first half, out of her own half, and then you talk about like the will to win, wanting it, putting herself about. And I thought, I kind of get that. I understand what you're saying now. Erin came off the bench for Sham that day with an injury, 7-1, probably the best game I've seen her play. She put herself about, she wanted it, she was winning balls, a nice little connection there with Liv Owen. And I thought, wow, you don't get spoke about enough. So I want to give a shout out to her. She's a fantastic player.
Definitely.
She's very quiet, maybe because she's not one of the loud brash ones. She comes, she has her food and goes. But she needs a bit of loving. She's probably one of our longest serving players.
She is, yeah.
How mad that sounds, probably with Darcy and Demi and things like that. And I've also got a theory as well. We spoke to Baylo after the match yesterday, and I've got this theory of why Sham's been brought in, because I don't understand why Erin gets taken off and Sham gets put on and vice versa. I think Baylo's brought her in to keep her on the toes.
Yeah.
Literally to keep her on the toes, and it's keeping her on the toes, because she hasn't really had a bad performance.
No.
So I just want to have a shout out to her. Any thoughts on that before I go down a little bit of a rabbit hole?
Yeah.
I've got a few more bits I want to add.
No, I think we speak about that quite a bit, don't we? The importance of keeping players on their toes and squad depth. Yeah, healthy competition. I think we said it quite a lot last season with the chopping and changing in the team quite a bit. How important it is that people don't sort of rest, especially in the position that we've been in the last 2 years. Well, even the last since we've been in Tier 3, right? Fighting to stay in a league. I think the moment that you feel comfortable is where everything goes wrong, right? You need to stay hungry, stay wanting to play football, stay in that mindset that it's not done, job's not done. We need to go out every week and perform to the best of our ability. And if you don't, ultimately you get drops by a player that has been brought in. I think it's healthy competition. That's all it is. It's nothing personal against Erin. I'm sure when she does get replaced by Sham.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure Baylor would say the exact same thing. I think it's exactly what we've been saying for the last few years, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it is good that you highlighted Emmy because you're right, she doesn't get spoken about enough. She is one of our former Tier 3 players who stayed. She lives in Stourbridge, works in Stourbridge. Callum spoke highly of her on the radio last week as well. So, yeah, it's good that you obviously highlighted that because I think it needed to be said.
Yeah, definitely. And just quickly before we move on, what I love about women's football, right? How you can make a football friend, if you like. So go back to the whole City game. I made reference to ex-player Lexi Harrison's boots on here, didn't I? The old World Cup boots from the 70s and 80s and 90s.
Yes.
She wears them. There's somebody that's trumped her now. So,
Oh.
yeah, well, Lexi Harrison wears them
Wow.
on grass. When it comes to Astro, it used to be called Astro, 4G, she seems to have the modern plastic Nike boots. Izzy Gig, right, I said I was going to give her a shout out. Izzy Gig of Hull City, don't just wear them on grass, but she wears them on Astro as well. Unfortunately, she scored down here against us.
She did, yeah.
But she came and had a chat after. A good chat with me and a couple of lads. Added her on Instagram, talk all the time, and just want a little warning to Stourbridge Football Club, right? Here's the warning. This season, you took no money off any of us for player sponsorship. I've had to put my money into Redditch. You know, it's a fact now.
Yeah.
If you don't take money off me or any of the fans for player sponsorship next year, a certain £150 to £300 will be heading up north to Hull City. Just telling you. But yeah, fantastic, mate. But I just have respect to the Hull City fans, the players. Really good game of football as well, relevant to score. And yeah, a few shout outs there. But apart from me waffling on, let's move on.
Yeah, definitely. And those good results. Not to agree that you're waffling on, but yeah, those good results have meant that the league table looks a bit like this. It's the healthiest it's looked in a fairly long time.
Yeah.
We find ourselves currently in 9th. Kidderminster Harriers below us, 2 points off us. And Northampton and Lincoln make up the relegation zones, with Northampton being 3 points off us.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of mad when you think about it. Also, I've only just really noticed this. We've played 12 games. Notts County ahead of us have played 13. So we could be 8th if we win that game in hand.
And now we're looking at that, aren't they? I think Baylor's looking at that and she's possibly looking up the table more than down the table at the moment.
100%.
Because, like I said, and Stourbridge aren't the only team that's got to play teams in and around them, because obviously opponents will be doing the same, aren't they? But if Stourbridge can get a couple of wins against the teams below them, then all of a sudden they're looking at like a mid-table kind of side.
Definitely. And you mentioned it there, like Northampton, we beat 1-0. Notts County, obviously, beat 5-3.
Yeah.
Sutton Coldfield, got a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
The big one to come this weekend. We'll speak about that in a bit more detail soon.
Did we lose to Barnsley? It's a ghost goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did lose in the end. Yeah, it was only 2-1 though, I believe.
Look at Worcester. I mean, Worcester are like 6th, but even though they had the beating of us down here, I still think that they're definitely winnable.
Yeah.
So there is so many points still there to be taken. And we're actually looking up the league as opposed to looking down the league and looking over our shoulder. Yeah. Obviously, things could change this time next week. However, as things stand, as you say, that game in hand, it's exciting, isn't it?
It is really exciting, yeah. And Northampton, we've spoken about them privately quite a bit, about the chopping and changing going on there with managers and players. And it's for the stature of the club, it's a real surprise to see them down there. Obviously, as a Stourbridge fan, take it every day of the week. But yeah, it's a really, really interesting league.
It is, yeah. Thoughts on that, DG? Because obviously we still have to play Peterborough. Yeah. But we still have to play some of those bottom teams as well, don't we?
You two can elaborate on that. You know my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't care less about any side. Go out, get 3 points, move on. I don't look. I understand what you guys are saying. Obviously, you people watching as well are probably on their level. What is it? If we beat so and so, we can go and get this. If so and so drop points, couldn't care less. We've got Kidderminster this week coming up. Go out there, get 3 points, high up the league. I couldn't care less what Lincoln, Northampton, Kiddie, Footcount, I couldn't care less.
Oh, don't get excited though, DG, when, like, say, for example, Northampton lose. You're like, yes, stay away from us.
No, because I want us to do our job.
Yeah. And if we do,
that's just me. That's just.
And now we're in this position. You are right, because now that we're in this position, if we do our job, it don't matter what Northampton does.
If it came to something, then we were relying on the team. No, that's different. You know, that's completely different. But at the moment, as it stands, I just want us to go out there, play what the football we do, and pick up the 3 points. That's it. Right, I get what you're saying.
No, definitely.
It's relevant anyway. Of course, it's relevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So obviously, we'll speak about that kiddie game in a bit more detail in a bit. I'm sure we've got a lot to say about that, because the magnitude of that game is madness. Like,
Yeah.
you know, obviously, as we say, you know, if Notts County drop points this weekend, we can go above them. If Northampton, I don't know who they're playing, but if they pick up points, they could go above either of us, depending on the result. But yeah, let's hope this time next week we are thinking positively about Stourbridge. I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
Oh yes, of course, with the Stourbridge mugs as well.
Yeah.
Shout out them. Shout out the Glassgirls.
Thanks, Jace.
There we go.
But yeah,
Let's put Darcy back on the screen because we was going to speak a little bit about Cal's interview, aren't we, for a little bit?
yeah, John. Obviously, the Switch Sport interview that Cal Terry did that has been put out recently this week. John, you were the mastermind behind that. Yeah, talk us through that one.
Well, I just wanted to pick up on it really because I think it needs. I think a few things need to be highlighted, but I think the first one is thank you again to Cal for allowing us to speak to you. This time it didn't go out on the Glassgirls network or YouTube. It went out on the radio, and I think it's good that Stourbridge, especially at this period of time where there's a lot to talk about positively in regards to the first team at least. I think it's good that we do highlight those good things. So Cal is great at doing that at the moment. What I want to speak about more than anything is his passion when he's talking. So you can 100% see that he believes in everything that we're doing. And yes, if maybe things were different, if there was like different obstacles there and things might turn out differently, but you can really see that he believes in this project, and he definitely believes in Meg. He's not saying that everything's perfect, but what he is saying is that there is a set structure here, and we're not just like winging it. We are just gradually trying to develop just at like a lower level that I suppose that we was used to over the last couple of 3 years, and who knows where we can end up. So yeah, he spoke really highly of Meg Bailey, as you'd expect, but he was backing it up. Now bear in mind, Callum didn't have any time to rehearse these answers, by the way, and was speaking off the cuff. So for him to reel these things off, it must be on his mind the same way as it's on our mind, that we can just reel it off. If someone asks us a question, we don't need to think and ponder, because we think about these things day in, day out, don't we? You know, when you're at work, when I'm at work, we just have conversations with ourselves, and you can see that like Callum could just speak so freely about a number of things. The interview lasted for about 15 minutes, well over 15 minutes, but we edited it down to 15 minutes. We also speak highly of Darcy, Erin and Debbie Phillips as well. There was just a lot of positives there. So when it comes to the first team, and this kind of ends our first team chat at the moment, there is just so much positivity to speak about. Of course, you know, for people like us who've been around when it was in a higher league, that's always going to be in the back of your mind. Of course it is. But I think with what Barlow's been up against and what the club have been up against, first team wise, we're holding our ground to the point where there's, if you go on to Switch Sport Radio again, Harry O'Neill doesn't even belong to this club anymore. He spoke highly of Barlow as well. So there's a lot of positive vibes in the area now about what Barlow's done at this club, and I don't think we had that positivity throughout the summer.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys thought of that interview, but I thought he held himself really well.
Yeah, definitely. I think the perspective of Stourbridge has changed quite a bit. Obviously, from this time last year, say, it's changed massive amounts because of Barlow, because of the new direction the club's going in, the new tier that we're in, and how well we're playing football there.
Style.
It's a positive. Positive.
I also, sorry to interrupt you, I know that you want to. I just think on that as well. I think we've been a bit more honest this season.
Yeah.
I don't think, like at the start of last season, I don't think we was honest enough publicly, or I don't, I think it was very much like, okay, Mike out.
Don't want to insult people. That's being honest. That's why.
Yeah. No, I think what it is for me, we kind of knew what we was going to get. So the fact that we're like ninth now, we're kind of pleased with that, because we was kind of honest at the start, saying, look, this is what's going to happen. We haven't got a load of money. These are the players that we're bringing in. We're going to do our best. We're going to get. Callum said it on this channel. Look back a few months ago on this channel. Callum said it himself. We're going to get youngsters in the area, and this is going to be our new philosophy, and we're going to try and build from there. There hasn't been any of this like, we're going to do this and do that, and not actually achieve it. So I think that's helped us a lot this season as well. It's kind of like made us realise, okay, well, this is where we're at. And I still like one last thing, and you'll go on to this when you talk about the standard. I'd still like someone to come out in the next month or so to say what's the direction of the whole section. What's the vibe going forward? Because even though Meg's doing great this season regarding results, what's the long term plan? The short term plan is to obviously just get points on the board and build a team, and keep developing that team. But what's the long term vision of the women's section there? But before we move on to standard, just anything you want to say to that?
Oh, the interview. It's, listening to Callum was like listening to me, because how many times did he say the word performance?
Mm-hmm.
I've got receipts on here from since the summer talking about how Balo plays football.
Mm-hmm.
I don't worry about what's going on behind the scenes. Yes, it's talking points and it is important. But you guys watch this week and month in, month out, and I kind of bang the drum about how the style of football is, the entertainment side of it, the excitement, paying my money on the door and going to watch a game of football. And I've been saying that all along. And now it's getting through to certain people that it is a good style of football with probably bare minimum budget, if there is a budget, pulling up trees. She's networking. She's a rookie that's still trying to kind of find her way, but she's probably overachieving to some people, not to me, because she's got a philosophy. Just thinking about it. Look at rugby on Sunday. Perfect example. We're still going to play our football. We're still going to play that way. We're not going to adapt to them or to anybody else. And that's what I love. Mm-hmm. And we've seen that week in, week out. And I love it.
Well, last thing before we move on that, because I know that we'll move away from the first team shortly. When you talk about Baylor there, the thing I've been the most impressed about is how quickly she's built a team together. And how quickly she started to get performances and results, and it's just constantly just going up like this.
That's my point.
Yeah. So I'm not saying like I'm blown away by I think what it is just gradual progression. It's not like she's like going up massively and then going down. It's just gradual, but she's got a group of 18-year-olds together very quickly, and people from the area. Don't get me wrong, it's not just 18-year-olds, but she has got a group of youngsters there who didn't have much summer together. Let's be honest. And she's quickly. I did not get much time with them.
Yeah.
Or much pitch time either. So I think it's the speed that's impressed me the most when it comes to all the stuff away from the football.
And that's why she deserves respect.
How quickly she's built something.
I think she deserves plaudits because of everything you just said there. Because it happened as well last year. We had a very similar situation where there wasn't many remaining first team players. And Aid obviously did his best to collate a squad. Obviously, different levels. It's so hard to compare the two, but the principle of it is the same. Where he's brought in a lot of these younger players, and potentially one or two of them didn't fit the mould, didn't fit the vibe of the squad,
or the style of play.
Oh yeah, exactly, or the style of play. So yeah, obviously we had to chop and change quite a bit. And it never seemed to really settle like it has now, I don't think. I think it seems, it does seem very settled. It seems very nice. It seems like Stourbridge is quite a nice place to be again, which
That's
is
exactly
lovely
what
to
it says on the tin.
Yeah.
That's when you come in here on a Sunday, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah, that's true.
Entertainment, attacking football, looking to score lots of goals.
There you go.
There we go.
What more can you ask for?
That's what you wanted.
Yeah. Right, let's talk about the big point then, shall we? The champions in waiting. They're going to have to wait a little longer, unfortunately. Sorry, so I've had to throw that in there.
And I stand by that to this day. Obviously, what Kieran's elaborating to is that Stourbridge Standard. I know more. Now, there hasn't been an official announcement on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that. I've got no idea why. It's just not Chinese whispers and rumours. If you go onto the FA player itself, Stourbridge Standard aren't in the league anymore. They have no fixtures. I've kept in contact with X amount of the girls. Obviously, my sponsors, Isla McNally and Tegan Hands, they're looking for other clubs because it's folded. It's such a shame for where they were last season. Now, some people will say it's a failure. Got to the cup final and lost, and lost the league by default.
Not failure. Not failure.
But you get my point.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's a success. Of course, they have 12 points, but some people say, well, they didn't win anything. That's what I'm basically trying to say. And some people have that philosophy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying it was a success. So we looked to build on that. Nobody knew that their team was going to get stripped of 3/4 of the squad. So exciting going into it. I started watching some of the games. That's why we're going to cover it on this pod. And let's be honest, guys, it's just gone tits up in terms of the players that are coming. Probably some of them haven't been good enough. Ryan Maxson, the success that he had, probably some of us expected him to work miracles straight away. We forget it is reserves / development because some of the under 18s are playing as well. You've had people not turn up for training, not enough commitment, people going on holiday. It's just been a little bit of, from what I've heard, I'm not there at training, so I'm only, from the outside looking in and hearing sound bites and catchphrases, etc. It's been a little bit of a shit show. But it's finished now, unfortunately. And it's a shame because some of those girls are really good. I think some of them, especially, I'm going to be biased towards Isla and Tegan for a reason. I think they can play a lot higher than tier 7. I really do, and hopefully we will follow their football career going forward through loyalty. And I hope to see them back at Stourbridge and some of the other girls. Hope they all get a club. Hope they all carry on playing football. The average age of the squad's between 17 and 20. They've got years left. I'm just disappointed, to be honest, because I'd love to go and watch them. I chose them over the first team a couple of times this season. Yeah, and it's before you guys come in, because there's not a huge amount to say. We can, waffle on about it. But Ryan Maxson said it when he kind of lost all his players. It was what was the catchphrase he used? I literally took my tongue in.
What was it? About him developing players.
What was it? Where was the failure to our success? What was it?
Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
It will come to me, but it's gone. But he came up with a catchphrase. It will come back to. But yeah, Stourbridge.
Victims of our success.
There you go.
Yes, this is what he's here for.
That's what he's here. He's here all week, ladies and gentlemen.
But
But yeah, he's working for our own success. But yeah, lads, thoughts? How it's gone? Why it's gone like that? Maxson leaving, not being able to place him, interviewing X amount of managers wasn't the right fits, and they are no more, boys.
Yeah, ultimately, I think it does look like the right decision for obviously not for the girls playing or the staff involved, but I think for the overall well-being of the club, I think it is
because you can't get a game on.
It just probably causes more issues than it's worth at the end of the day.
Yeah, postponements our end as well, so we were deducted points. It was just. Yeah, going backwards rather than forwards.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I think. But for me personally, the one thing that has disappointed me is the lack of anything being said about it, because we've said quite a bit that we all appreciate the clarity of situations, good or bad, positive or negative, whatever that might be, and I feel like the club have got really good at that recently, especially compared to last season. I think we as fans know a lot more about the positives and the negatives publicly. Which I think is absolutely great, because you take the rough with the smooth, don't you? But you can't always be absolutely rosy 100% at the time. So yeah, I think unless they're working on something big to commemorate the girls and the staff, it almost seems a little bit almost disrespectful that nothing's been said. They've just gone their separate ways and not given a proper thanks, a proper goodbye. For some of these girls like Isla, who's been connected with the club for God knows how many years. People like that. So yeah, for me, that's what I'd like to see personally in the coming days, maybe a few weeks. A proper little send off for Stourbridge Standard, because it's been especially last season. That night at Walsall was incredible. Obviously, some of the league games were really really good as well. It would be nice for it to just have a proper conclusion rather than just you look on FA full time and it's not there anymore.
Nothing.
Exactly.
For me, that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, it's massively disappointing, because for the last 18 months ago, we had 4 women's teams. One academy that was linked to Dudley College, a development team that won the league, a reserve team that finished 4th, the National League standard that finished 4th in the Midlands, and obviously the first team in Tier 3 that survived in Tier 3 that was seemed to have been building. And now we've only got the one team, and as good as that one team is in regards to excitement at the moment and the way we just spoke about it for the first half an hour of the show, as excited as that first team is, there is no pathway now. So if you're an 18-year-old, if you're good enough to jump into Tier 4, brilliant, stick with Bailo. If you're not quite there, where do you go?
Yeah.
And hopefully, the under-18s can move into a new standard team, and we'll still have a standard team next year. The 15s will go to the 16s, and we go from there. We might be able to inherit another 18s team, whatever. That would be the old ideal solution. But for me now, I look at where's these top quality under 18 players going to go? So Bailo has got the under 18s.
You've segued perfectly in there for me.
Go on.
I food for thought. I reckon the standard will be brought back next year.
I really
They call
hope
it the
so. That's
standard
gotta
or not.
be.
And
It makes
reason-
sense,
It
doesn't
has
it?
to be.
Reason why I say that, me and John had a conversation with Meg. I spoke to Meg yesterday. We spoke about bits and bats, and I always remember in the summertime she came into the club with the 2 trophies, and her words were, "I can never give my babies up."
Yeah.
She said that, "I can never give my babies up." That's why this
Yeah.
season she's managing 2 sides, the first team and the under-18s. Now next season, the under-18s will be going into adult football.
Yeah.
She can't be in 2 places at once.
Mhm.
They both play on a Sunday, so she's going to be with the first team, and she could have trained the under-18s going into adult football.
Yeah.
She can't be. She's going to have to. She said she's going to have to choose somebody if it was the case to manage them better. Now you just hit the nail on the head. Where do these players go? She's got a squad of players there that are very, very talented.
Yeah.
And they are. I've been to watch them twice this season. The likes of Bella Martin, and they're just taking the piss at that level. I mean, it's gone from under 16, skip under 17, straight to under 18s. Now to keep them all together, to make them play adult football, competitive adult football, is to bring back the standard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can see that's what I just think they could. That's a possibility
Hope so.
to keep them together, because you don't want half the squad going here, there, and everywhere,
Yeah.
splitting up, not getting game time, dropping back down. I mean, some of the girls there are 16. Some of them are good enough to be playing Tier 7 football. I've seen the likes of Eden Ball and Abby Jones and Amira that have been playing for the standard, more than capable of Tier 7 football, if not higher.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? So that's what I think when you said that.
Yeah.
I can see the standard being brought back. Whether it's called the standard, I've got no idea, but I think there's a
Yeah.
pathway for that there.
Just to touch on that quickly, I think from Meg's perspective, I completely understand where she's coming from with what you say and not wanting to give up her side, because she's known them for so many years.
Well, she's nurtured them, hasn't
Yeah,
she?
she's done so well with bringing them and making them the footballers they are today. However, for me, in my opinion, she's very much valid in her opinion of doing that. For me, I think the process is wrong. Then, that I think if you're gonna do that,
Mhm.
why have standards to begin with? Because it almost seems like then
Oh,
the process
You're
is.
just bringing them through as opposed to going.
Yeah,
okay.
for me, that's your
That's what
pathway. That's your pathway. You go under 18s, you go standard, play proper women's football for the first time in standard,
Yeah.
and then if you're good enough, you then play for the first team.
That's what it's saying.
In my head, that's how it should always work. But I just think there was almost a disconnect between the club Stourbridge FC first team and Stourbridge Standard. You know, the sponsorships were a completely different thing, and there's loads of reasons why it didn't just feel like one club, one family.
And sorry, just to very quickly jump on that, how are the under-18s getting so many opportunities with the first team? I'm saying so many, and how is that not the standard? Because in theory, the standard should be next.
Yeah.
And obviously Debbie Phillips has come from there, and Ireland McNally had a game as well. But yeah, something went wrong there very quickly. How the under-18s were more favoured than Stourbridge Standard in regards to getting into that first team, because in theory that should never happen.
Mhm.
But yeah. But look,
I think the important thing is as well, like for people like Bella Martin, who is clearly good enough for the first team, obviously stick her in.
Yeah.
But for those players that have made 1 or 2 appearances from Meg Bailey's team, I'm thinking Frankie, who's appeared here and there.
If we don't do
in my opinion, is still quite a way off women's football because she's so young. She still has a lot to learn about the game. She should go to standard. Allow her that experience.
Yeah.
To jump from 18s to the first team, for me, shouldn't be
level,
the way it's done.
I agree. Because we're at a level, and we want to stay in Tier 4, don't we? So it's not like we say, oh yeah, but when we're in Tier 5, Tier 6, it'll be okay. We want a Tier 4 team, and we would ideally like a regional reserve team or standard team or development team.
Yeah, but Meg as well. You're spot on what you're saying. But Meg as well. I think she's got a theory. If you're good enough, you'll play. Depending on what age you are.
Yeah.
If X player is better than Y player, but Y
And
player is
you're
older and more experienced, but you're doing better than her, you're going in.
Yeah.
So I kind of get what she's doing. Remember, she's only had 3. Jess Edwards, who's coming on fantastic. By the way, I completely forgot. Goal of the season. Jess Edwards against Hull.
It's up there.
Fair play to her.
Yeah.
17-year-old, made her own space. It wasn't a hit and hope. It was an absolute howitzer that went past the goalkeeper.
It was the best goal of the game.
Best goal of the season.
Right.
Yeah.
I just went off there, but Jess Edwards, Bella Martin, and Frankie May that's coming through. She's only really signed those 3 and given them chance after chance after chance. So it's going to be a few more filtering through. It's not like she's got the whole squad right. I'm not going to lose my babies. You're all coming over here. Forget you. She hasn't kind of done that. She's picked a select 3.
I'll be waiting as
Do you know
well.
what I'm saying?
I'll be waiting as well to the end of the season to see what league we're in, because I'm pretty sure that if we were to get relegated, I'm not saying that we're going to in the first team, But if you weren't, no, it's true though, because then you wouldn't be able to have a standard team in tier 5 or tier 6.
Oh, you're going by the rules, yeah.
So then you've got to start thinking, okay, well, our standard team's got to be in tier 7, and then the 18s could probably go into the tier 7.
Yeah.
Tier 7 or tier 8, because that is what that would be.
Different
some of their
options,
level. If we stay up, then where's the under 18s going to go?
When we stay up.
No, I'm just saying, yeah.
And I'm just saying when.
It's just something to ponder.
No,
we don't know what league to put them in yet.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Is that everything we want to say about Standard? Obviously, we can't really speak.
Oh, I've got my shirts, by the way. My
Yes.
sponsorship. I've got Isla's shirt and I've got Tegan's shirt. John will add the photographs. It's going to be on there now when you watch it, guys. So, yeah. No, nothing else really, mate. It's standard dust, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Obviously, RIP Stourbridge Standard. Brilliant time for the club, but is no more. Something that is promising, though. The ground, the War Memorial Athletic Ground. Obviously, we've got these little animated images of mock designs that could possibly be the future of the home of Stourbridge. It looks fun, doesn't it?
That's me there.
That's you and your dad, yeah. Yeah. That's me and DG down there.
Where's
Yeah.
Ollie? Ollie's got
That's Ollie. But yeah, obviously, looking at this, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
Good luck to Ollie with the GCSEs, by the way, this week.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
mate.
But yeah, this is really interesting. This is really cool. Obviously, there was a little article that went out a few months ago now, sort of detailing this. I think they've had quite a bit of funding to potentially make this a reality. And yeah, when you compare, I remember, John, we had the conversation, I don't know if David even joined the podcast by then, about the future of the ground. Maybe
Just one off.
yeah, definitely during last season. But yeah, it was not positive. It was quite a negative chat because not a lot had been said. It was very kept under the carpet. So yeah, to have physical things you can look at and plans and discussions and monetary value to stuff like this is really important for the fans, because you don't have your fans sort of losing faith in the club, in the board or whatever, not thinking anything's going on behind the scenes when it clearly is. And yeah, we've got this cool looking stadium. I mean,
I like how you call it a stadium now, not a ground.
It is, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've got. I was going to say we've got 4 sides. We haven't really down here still, but that's all right. We'll deal with that.
Side.
Yeah, we'll deal with that. I guess this is the clubhouse here.
That's the most important bit.
Most important bit. Chip van here. So yeah, I guess this will be the main stand, because obviously the trouble with all the housing behind it is sort of going around in this area and this area. So this stand will be shifted over slightly as well. But yeah, it looks cool, doesn't it?
It does look cool, and I think there's probably always been like plans that you had to take to either the council or the FA or whoever to say, look, this is what we would do if we had permission to do so and had the funding to do so. I think there's always been 2 things in the last couple of years that we've heard of. The lease that we're fully aware of, is it like 6 or 7 years left, 7 or 8, something like that?
Yeah.
So that's one thing. So we've always known about the lease, it's running out, and we share it with the cricket club. And then the other thing is the repair work that needs doing, that costs a hell of a lot of money that we just haven't got money for, because you can talk about hundreds of thousands of pounds, hundreds of thousands of pounds, and we won't get the funding until we renew the lease. We can't renew the lease until we've found an agreement of a price that's not going to make us bankrupt, basically. So I think there's always a lot of work that's being done behind the scenes, and this is obviously what the 2 Andys need to focus their time on, because without this, you're talking a lot of money there in what it takes. And this is why I've always said that there needs to be people supporting the 2 Andys and the board, looking after the things that we talk about, the women's football. There needs to be someone looking after that while they're focusing on this. This was perceived really well, I thought, when it came onto social media. So it was in the programme, I think it was back in December, early December, end of November-ish. It came across really well, I thought, on social media. A lot of positive vibes. They were all talking just like you were. They've seen these pictures, really excited, and I think it was a good morale boost at the time, which is obviously what the club needed at that time as well. So look, it's only good news. It's not bad news. We just need to get everything signed, sealed, and delivered when the deal's right, I guess.
definitely. Yeah, do they have anything to add on to these lovely images we've got here?
The bar.
Yeah.
I'm being serious, by the way. The bar. Jace is still where he is.
Yeah.
Head barman.
Yeah.
Quality of the beer. That's my second home.
Mm-hmm.
I can't kind of echo. Well, I echo everything you two guys say, and I'm on board with it. But again, when the game's finished, where's the first place we head? To the bar. So if that's being renovated, the ground, I'm guessing the bar will have some sort of renovation as well. They've kind of started a little bit, haven't they? They've taken it out chairs out. They've got a massive screen. I know that the new Jason's got plans for it and things like that. So yeah, it's positive vibes. I like it.
Yeah, I hope it didn't change too much the bar because it is.
I think it's the best bar.
I've been to a fair amount of non-league clubs in my time. Obviously following the men's team and the women's teams home and away, and nowhere compares for me. I don't know if it's bias or because I've got lovely memories there.
Very homely.
Yeah,
it's very homely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We were in there until 8:00 last night after the game.
Yeah.
It's just the warmth of the place, the people, the
People,
atmosphere.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, I like everything.
Yeah.
It's very welcoming as you come in, isn't it?
Yeah.
You sit. If you think of it about it, ladies and gentlemen, if you sit at home in front of the fire and you're kind of watching a movie, honestly, and you've got a cup of tea or a beer or whatnot, you don't want to move. That's what we're like in the club. Once we're talking, once the lights go dim and whatnot, and you've got good company, good beer, Jace comes along and has a talk with you, Balo started it, plays, etc. You just want to go, I'll have another pint. I'm quite content here. I love it. I don't want to go anywhere else. And that's honestly, that's not me being silly. That's gospel.
We see it, and not enough people do. It's a local. It's our local. So if you just want to go for a drink, I mean, I don't know what the prices are like compared to any other pubs because I don't look into that much detail. But if you just want to go for a pint and you live in Stourbridge, especially if you're into football, or even if you're not into football, come down in the week.
NFL.
The NFL's on there. You've got all these TVs, your Dart, your snooker, or whatever. It's all on. It's in the sports bar now. It's in the sports bar. And it's so yeah. On that, I wasn't going to talk about that, but if you're picking up the Glass Boys bar, it is by far the best bar in the area at the level of football that we play.
And Jason, I think Jason needs. I had a shout out to Jess's goal to Arian. I think Jason needs a shout out as well. To be fair.
Yeah.
And, he's a very friendly barman. Comes and talks to you, makes you feel welcome. He's not ignorant. Do you know what I mean? He's good as gold, and that goes a long way. For me, it does anyway.
He's used to managing pubs, isn't he? He knows what it takes. Yeah.
And hopefully he'll continue to manage forevermore at Stourbridge. But yeah, really, really good. We're excited. Up the Glass Boys and the girls, and hopefully we can get a new home sorted soon. Let's talk about Balo's revenge in a little cartoony sort of state here.
I've got to shout out my daughter, by the way, because when I came to do the podcast, she went, Dad, make sure you say my name. So Freya, I'll shout it out now. She's done that. She does all the artwork.
There you go, getting the respect she deserves.
Balo will love that photo. It looks great.
Yeah, really, really good. Balo's revenge, obviously, it says there, though. If you hadn't picked up, that alludes to Stourbridge versus Kidderminster Harriers this weekend. The big one, of course. We spoke about the magnitude of it, given the league table, and just how important it would be to get anything out of that. Obviously taking place, we think in Droitwich. It'd be lovely to have it at Agborough, but nothing's been said about that just yet. So we're under the presumption it will be at Droitwich, which is a tough place to go because it's not the nicest pitch in the world. I think Kiddie will tell you that themselves. It's going to be a tough place to go. Obviously, the atmosphere is going to be big. There'll be plenty of Kiddie there. There'll be plenty of Stour there. We know a fair few of the Stour lot that are already going to cheer on Balo and the girls. So yeah, let's talk about this one then, John. The massive one, the original John Foster derby, if you will.
Eventually, you'll play Walsall. Stourbridge will play Walsall, and the world.
Men's team in the Birmingham City.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think this is a tight going into a game, and I'm happy to talk about this. I'll put this up to the room, but I think I've thought about this for like a month. Going into this
sad life we live.
Going into this game, I think it's the closest it's been out of the 3 games that we've played so far. Going into it, and let me just explain why.
Yeah.
So the first time that we played, obviously on paper, I'm going off on paper. There's a tier 3 side against a tier 5 side, so I appreciate tier 3 was towards the bottom of the league, and tier 5 team was flying.
Still, yeah.
But yeah, so week in week out, the tier 3 side, that Stourbridge was playing tough competition, and I thought that Stourbridge would probably just about have enough, but I knew that Kiddie had something up the sleeve, which they did because they were a good team. They ended up getting promoted. This game at War Memorial Ground, I think at the start of the season, it was Stourbridge's first game at the War Memorial Ground all season.
Yeah.
The team had only been together for about 3 or 4 weeks. On paper, Kiddie signed some real good players. You know,
Easy,
you had, exactly. You had all those and the defence and the midfielders. On paper, you'd think, okay, Kiddie going into this as favourites. This time, you could argue that based on momentum, based on the league table being 2 points higher, Stourbridge are favourites. If you consider home advantage, balances that up. You might not. I don't know if it does at this stage. It might do, might not. This is the closest game that they've played out of the 3 so far in the past 18 months since Andy Fisher's obviously took over.
Yeah.
I think it means more in regards, because it's a league table, it's so close. I think it means more than last time in regards to, when Aid was here, Aid wasn't as close to Kiddie, whereas Bailo is close to Kiddie because she was formerly there. I just think that momentum is leaning towards Stourbridge on this one. I don't know what you guys think on that one.
Yeah, I'd like to think momentum's leaning towards us. Yeah, but obviously, as I say, it's going to be a tough place to go. We know Andy Fisher. We know he loves to hype up a game of this magnitude, and I'm sure he'll do the exact same thing again because it's so important to Kiddie as it is to Stourbridge. Obviously, you wouldn't like to put any money on it right now, but the one who loses this looks more likely to be tipped for relegation. Obviously, considering the league table. But yeah, it's all riding on it, isn't it? It's got a lot of things riding on it, emotions, the politics of football, but also obviously, like we mentioned, that the position in the league table.
Yeah.
It's just it's gonna be fun, isn't it? It's gonna be fun. Yeah, Dave, what are your thoughts?
I've got a lot of thoughts, mate.
You usually go through the last minute. You usually go minute by minute. You usually give some sort of prediction of exactly what's going to happen.
Give us your thoughts and then give us a minute by minute breakdown.
I'm getting wrong all the time, don't I? Look, I don't want to harp back onto the FA Cup game. That's done and dusted. You know, people know my thoughts on that. But you're right. You know, going into that first game this season, you know, we saw some of the comments on social media going into it and things like that. You know, Stourbridge are going to be shown up for what they are, kind of thing. Kiddie are the team that's more experienced, got the better players. You know, there's better funding there, there's better budgets, there's a structure. I got it. We got it. We made our predictions that time, and it was. I always remember this. I've got quite a selective memory, if you like. But at half time, that game down in the Royal Ground, I remember your boy's faces at half time. He had a big smirk on his face, massive smirk, and he had what the F was going on here. It was the birth of Ella and Bella in the middle. Mm-hmm. We were so dominant. I mean, who's the goalkeeper for Kiddie that day?
The Amber.
Yeah.
Amber,
I mean, she made some great saves, to be fair. We were so dominant, so attacking. I think Kiddie was stunned. They were absolutely stunned. And to be fair, I've got a lot of time to Andy for Fish. Was in his interview, he turned around and he said, kind of, he wasn't expecting that. And he said, I gave him a massive bollocking, if you like, at half time. I won't repeat what was said, etc. And they came out the second half and tried. Look, at the end of the day, I can wax lyrical about how good we were, how dominant we were, the football that we played. But you ever go and have a look at the record books, you go and have a look at the score. There's no right or wrong way to play football. Kidderminster beat Stourbridge that day. Yeah. And when I put there, Baylo's revenge, it needs to be revenge because the better side lost. Now, if we were the better side this Sunday coming and we get nothing from it, it's our own fault. So the likes of your April Maguires, your Jess Edwards, Molly May Summers, and your Darcy Cartwright, so whoever's going to be playing up front on Sunday, if you don't take those chances when they're available, like last time, you know, it's no fault. It's our own fault. Yeah. We need to put those chances away because Andy Fish will know that we're playing the same style of football week in, week out, and he's going to be well up for this one. Irrelevant if he's got players missing, players injured, he knows how good we were that day. And he knows we're playing the same football week in, week out. It's a fantastic game of football. I can't wait for this. As I said, it should be at Agbra. There should be more hype for it. You know, there is a revenge there. There is a storyline there. Last time we done the Mr. Miyagi thing, didn't we? The master versus student. Yeah. You know, the master won. The student was more than good enough on the day. I can't wait. And by the way, I'm missing the DG Derby for this.
That's right.
Redditch United are playing Redditch Borough. My sponsor, Abby Stevens, gets my old sponsor, Daisy Clements, to play at the same time. And I've chosen my babies. But, well, yeah, my girl. Then. But yeah, I can't. There's politics involved. I just think it's going to be a really good occasion. I want a good game of football. I want us all to have a beer at the end of the day. After win, lose or draw. If we lose, which I'm not expecting us to, we dust ourselves off and we go again. And I'm guessing Andy Fish and the girls will be exactly the same. The season won't be over.
No, definitely. I just want to touch on the kiddie squad real quick because I think it's really interesting what they're doing right now. Obviously, Mill Rogers has done a bit of a U-turn following her exit from Boldmere. But yeah, so
she's had more clubs than Wentworth, hasn't she?
obviously, we know the quality that Mill has on her day. Whether she can bring that out on Sunday, hopefully not. But obviously the main talking point there being she hasn't really played a whole lot of football in the last few months over the Christmas period. So hopefully, she's not fully at it. Obviously,
starts on the bench, I believe. Last game.
Yeah. Obviously, Kitty just today before we started recording this announced the departure of Beth Gallagher, who's a really really talented footballer, winger, midfielder, whatever you want to call her. It'd be really really interesting to see where she ends up. And to be fair, both squads have changed quite a bit since we both met. Yeah. Obviously, Kitty now have Abby Bevan. We now have Sophie Phillips. There's a few more as well. Yes, exactly. Yeah, obviously didn't get the game time she deserves at Kitty that she wanted, so made the jump over to Baylow's Tower and is absolutely thriving. So she'll want to prove for herself for Baylow that she made the right call there. Loads of the other girls, they're new to the side as well. They potentially didn't even play that first game against Kitty at home for us, and likewise for Kitty. So it's going to be really tough, but I'm sure we'll rise to the occasion because we know what's on the line, and we know how important this game is to us, don't we?
I think this is a game where Baylow can just go for it and have fun.
Yeah.
Because I know you said the loser, I don't get what you're saying there, but I think because she's got that extra 2 points in the bag.
It takes the pressure off a little bit.
It does a little bit, just go for it. And like I say, they've got the momentum. What can Kitty do? Kitty haven't scored as many as I probably thought they would score this season. And there are reasons for that. I mean, they've had a massive change in their squad, in the last 6 to 9 months, even throughout. It's ongoing at the moment, and I can see why that they're probably not as high up in the league. Just touching on that, there's people watching this that may recognise a few names, but Elle McGovern, one of the best players that we've ever had. She won Tier 4 for us. I think she won 4. I think she's the only player that I know that's won 4 leagues on the trot.
Yeah, 3 with us and then 1 with Calcer
as well. Tier 4 in Calcer. She helped get them promoted. So she's still part of that squad, but she's been very unwell in the last 2 or 3 months. So she's not been playing any game time. Obviously, we lost Ellie Maylock, Kitty and a Stourbridge. So you've lost one of your best goalkeepers in the league.
Neve Deasy no longer part of the
Neve
squad.
Deasy, Mill Rogers left, Liv Woolston. So
Levick's is in and out as well, isn't she? Since did she?
So Levick's is in there, Tay Shakespeare's still injured, Dion McGee's still injured. Your midfielders, you lost Alex Nicklin, Lil Beth. So if you put Alex Nicklin and Lil Beth in with that Elle McGovern, you win this league that we're in Tier 4 by 10, 12 points, was it? So that just shows. So you lose them, you lose Zara Gibbs to TNS, who's probably going to be in the team of the league in Wales, and Kiara Stokes, who's up and down at uni at Liverpool. So you've lost such a massive amount of players there that are all very good Tier 4 players, if not Tier 3. You've lost that, and you've brought players in the Kitty that just haven't hit the ground running as quick as Baylow's team. So this is when I said about how quickly Baylow's done it, I had Kitty in mind. So Kitty's gone through a massive transition this year, going from 5 to 4, bringing in all these players to replace these superstars, in some aspects. Baylow's team has settled far quicker than what Fisher's team has settled, and that's kind of where the edge is at the moment for me.
Definitely, yeah. It's going to be super interesting. Right, let's do...
Oh, we want to leave one again.
The score prediction, shall we?
Do I keep on going?
It ain't us, it's him. Fence sitting.
John,
kick
us off, mate. Come on.
Kick us off then. So, what did I say?
A draw you said last time.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Wow.
Not that you're keeping tabs on it or anything.
No. The question is, who do you want to win? Now, he's the co-host of the Stourbridge Football Club podcast, so the obvious answer would be Stourbridge. But because he's got so loyal to Andy Fish and his people...
This is so hard, because obviously I want them both to stay up, obviously.
I'm trying to...
Just on that as well, as much as I want Stourbridge to win on the weekend, and I want Kitty to lose, I hope with everything that Kitty stay up. Not just because we get on so well with all the people there, Harry and Fish and the players. It's a great occasion. It's a great occasion. Yeah. Obviously, when we had it at Agborough, it was brilliant last year. I think having them in the league makes the league so much better. And I think as well, if you get rid of Northampton and Lincoln, two teams that aren't West Midlands based, for me, like as a fan that wants to go to away games, that's brilliant for me. That's the ideal scenario. So
we just need to add Lytown and Howes Owen.
Exactly. Ready for us, stick them in there.
This could happen, couldn't it? Yeah. Look, I was honest when I thought Stourbridge was going to lose. I kind of said it's like a draw or a loss. Against.
I think they won,
Yeah. So I said that. So I think this time I continue to be honest, and I think Stourbridge edges for me.
Yeah,
I do.
There we go, ladies and gents.
No, I think
get it down in
writing. Mouth, baby. That was his mouth.
that time threw me wrong there, and could you go and win? Better than 5-0. No, look, I think they do edge it. I think they do edge it this time.
Yeah.
I
agree with you. Go on, give us a score prediction.
I think there's only going to be like one goal in it. I don't see Stowe scoring more than 2 goals. Sorry, I don't see Kiddie scoring more than 2 goals. So it's probably going to be like a 2-1 or a 3-2 or something.
I agree with you because I don't 100% know where Kiddie get their goals from now. Obviously, not got DZ, not got Liv Woolston. Will Rogers is obviously your main goal threat, but apart from that,
and
she's
Harris is around. Oh look, you can get goals whether or not they can create them.
You can, but in this league as well, with the players that we've got the quality that we've got at the back, I struggle to see where they score a massive amount of goals from. I think they'll get 1 because I think they do have that quality.
And the type of game that it is going to be flipping. You just got to go off with it, don't you?
I see us scoring 3 though.
3-1.
3-1. I'm going.
Okay then.
Dave, give us the breakdown. Come on.
So I always go for a Demi free kick, don't I? Yeah. Now I spoke to Demi 2 weeks ago when the Redditch game was called off, and if you go and have a look at it's not an archive this season, if you like. The free kick taker is Ella Brennan, and you can see why. She's got an absolute perler against Notts County from the set piece. So she's on free kicks at the moment. So I'm sticking to my free kick theory. And it was the birth of Ella and Bella that day. It was though, wasn't it? It was. It was the link up play, the connection was beautiful. It was really good to watch. It stunned all of us how well they played. So I'm going to stick with a Bella and Ella, or Ella and Bella connection if you like. So I'm going to go 2-0. Bella's due a goal. So Bella's going to go. So it might be our first senior goal.
She got one against Ruby Murrah. Let's not get that twisted.
That's a compensation for another day. But yes, a second goal, and I can see a free kick from Ella Brennan, another curler, another peach. Beautiful goal, 2-0 to us, and we march on to the next game.
Interesting.
Yeah, so yeah.
There's somebody behind the camera. Does that person want to give a prediction?
Is there an apparition in the room?
Oh, is that
2-2? Oh, who said that?
Who said it?
Get in the comments who you think the mystery man behind the camera is today.
I think if it was 2-2, would Bailo and Fish take that?
I think so.
I think at the end of the day, I think they would. If you take the Fish right now, 2-2, yes, because I think you'd like to think, right, if we get a point against Stour, and I have to win Lincoln and I have to win Northampton. Look, it's not the end of it's not flipping ideal, is it? But I think 7 points would be enough to
I disagree, because we spoke to her last night. And
no, I don't think Bella would want to go for it.
I think how Kidderminster have been, well, you're more educated than I am on the team, has been playing and dropping points and not scoring. I think Fish should be more, in my view, over the jaw. She won't be. She's going to have 3 points.
This is what I'm saying.
Fish will be going to have 3 points. He's not going to play set up a team.
No.
I understand. He'll be happy with it. I don't think Baylor will be.
Yeah.
I think she'll kick herself if we do. Mm-hmm. But then again, we don't know how the game's going to play out. So Kidderminster might be dominant. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
So
we really don't.
Hopefully not, but...
It's crazy, it is so quickly.
I think if we go there, we play the way that we have all season. Obviously, don't let the rugby result affect us, because it's a meaningless tie. Obviously, losing 10-1, it doesn't matter if you're playing a friendly, losing 10-1.
So it's
going to affect you a bit mentally, but as long as you can, realise that it's not the end of the world, that we've got a more important game to play this weekend.
They're coming off a defeat as well, Keith.
Exactly, yeah. And close one to Sutton Coldfield as well, where you would have thought potentially they could nick something, but no, they got beaten by Sutton Coldfield, which is obviously really promising for us. But yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? That's it. Let's go into this one. If you're there at Droitwich, get making some noise, back the girls. If you're not there at Droitwich, get to Droitwich.
Massive
Because
game, as it always is.
yeah, it's a massive game. No matter who you support, if you're a neutral, if you're a Stourbridge fan, if you're a Kiddie fan, go there, make it the occasion it deserves to be.
If you bump into DG, say hello to him.
He doesn't buy it.
No, I don't. I don't buy it. I can do, but
If you disagree with what he says, tell him the reason why.
yeah, but I think I mean, I think people are, whether they like. I'm not here to be liked. I couldn't care less. I'm here for the girls. I'm here for Stourbridge, you know. But I'm honest. I say what I see, you know. It's nothing personal. You saw anybody who watched last month's one. You saw me apologise to certain players from certain teams. So I'm not there to disrespect people. Just I love the girls. I get passionate and you know, like I just said there, the Kidderminster game, win, lose or draw. You know, hopefully we can all have a drink in the bar after.
Yeah,
you know, and we move on to the next game.
Great conversation. This is what we love
football,
doing.
you know?
We just love talking about football. The side of the players,
Life and death.
side of the players' parents. Everyone just loves talking about the game, and we're not here to agree.
Can I just
with
add
anything.
something quickly? Now you've just said that. Really quickly.
Oh no.
No, it's nothing. It's nothing bad. You said about parents, and a lot of the girls now we're speaking to in the bar afterwards. They're not used to fans. And you said that to me ages ago. And it's great to see us talking to them, and me as a 40-year-old bloke, as a fan of these girls. To me, I wouldn't say I look up to them, but I respect them so much. And it's probably a new thing, especially for the younger ones. They might be a little bit shy, but a little bit nervous. Or you know, you don't really want to speak to him, kind of thing. This is a bit. I'm used to youth football, etc. But honestly, I'm a massive fan. I'm a fan of these players, and if we continue that kind of rhetoric, where we're coming to the ground, we're going back to the bar after, we're having a drink, we're approaching the girl, saying, "Well done, you've played fantastic." And look at yesterday. Bella was sat at the bar, she had a load of players around her. I called Bella Martin over, had a little chat. I called so-and-so over. See Sham outside, speak to Aaron outside. Make yourself noticed, make yourself, you know, get involved. And
We're
you
both
realise-
agencies.
yeah,
It's
it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice getting that kind of family feeling back again. But I just mentioned that the fan thing, they're not used to having fans, but since the DG's been involved, back, you know, since the old days, trying to bring the old days back,
Yeah,
I kind of like it, and I think they do as well, you know.
Cool.
I
definitely.
think they do. I think it's nice when somebody says you've played well, you've done this and that, we have their show, and I think they might walk away and think, that's nice someone to say that about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would as well, if it was me or you or, you know, someone respects what you're doing on the pitch and whatnot, so, and especially our gaffer as well. You know, she needs to get the respect that she's earned and she deserves.
And she will on Sunday, hopefully. Baylor's Revenge, be there or be square.
I like that.
Yeah, there we go. Get down to Droitwich, support the girls. Any girls you want, support Kiddies, support Stourbridge, make it the occasion it deserves to be. Yeah, that's it. Boys, are we all done?
I think we are done, mate. Just roll on Sunday.
Roll on Sunday. There we go. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like and all that. And see you later.
I'm on Stour.
Up Stour.